Guten Morgen, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of... I don't know what I'm gonna call this yet. I was thinking of calling it like Drinky Drink or Morgan Makes a Drink. So far, not very creative. If you have a good idea for what to call this part of the series, write it in the comments below. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is, show you guys some of the favorite cocktails I have and how to make them, tell you guys stories about maybe the first time that I had them or what they, I don't know, memories I have about them. And this fits in with another new series I've started, another Sofa Time series in front of my blue sofa here at home in Hamburg, Germany. And I do have a name for that series, and it's called Drink and Discuss. And the drink I'm gonna make today is the drink I'm gonna drink in the first episode of that, where I tell you about my weird roommate in New York City who I found out was spying on me pooping. And yeah, the more I think about that, the more I need a drink. Let's get started! Have you guys ever noticed how many YouTubers say that when they're doing a video about basically anything that they make? There always comes a point in the video where they say, let's get started. Now I did it too. Today we're gonna make a Cosmopolitan, which is, you know, a standard drink. I think just probably so many people know how to make this drink, but I'm gonna show you how I do it, and what I'm using is cranberry juice, vodka, triple sec, fresh lime juice, a shaker and a measurer, ice cubes, this glass, and a knife. All right, in order to make a traditional Cosmopolitan, at least the way that, oh wait, I forgot something. Rose's limes juice, or something else sweet. All right, so you're gonna need all of these things to make like a traditional Cosmopolitan, at least the way that I learned how to make it from my gay friends in New York City. And if they don't know the right way, I don't know who does. All right, I have this shaker, but you don't really need a cocktail shaker. It certainly makes it feel fancy. And you know what? I'm gonna rinse this out, hold on. If you don't have a cocktail shaker, what you can do is you can take two different size glasses as long as one of them is like plastic and a little bit pliable. I'll show you what I mean. So do you see how this glass is plastic and this is like a glass? You can make these into a cocktail shaker because the mouth of this fits into this glass like that, and then you can shake like that too if you don't have a shaker. But I do. So I'm gonna put some ice cubes in the shaker. Do you see how I put the ice cubes here in this bowl for proper presentation? Because I didn't think this would be interesting in the video. All right, so we've got ice in the shaker, and now I'm going to put in some lime juice. I've got 2 limes here, but I'm not gonna use all of these. That would be way too much lime. It was just for the proper, you know, for a good look. So I wash these limes. And this knife is a fancy looking knife, but it is not very sharp. You know, doesn't that look nice? Doesn't that, you know, there's something about just the color and the smell of fresh lime that makes me feel good. I think it sort of reminds me of, I don't know, summer in a way. Anyways, I'm gonna squeeze half of this into my shaker of ice, which is where I'm mixing the drink. And you know, some people would do this, they would like strain it to not get the pulp in it, but I like pulp. I like to have those little nubs to chew on while I'm drinking. Are you guys like that too? Okay, now let's go on to the alcohol. A true Cosmopolitan will be served in a glass like this. It's a martini glass, and that is the traditional way to serve it without any ice in it. And so you should chill this glass by either putting it in the freezer, or you can put like a couple ice cubes in it and then fill it up with water as you're making the drink, and that will chill it as well. However, I'm not gonna use this glass because while I'm telling my story, I'm gonna wanna drink more than this. That's why I'm using a big on the rocks glass, because I just need a bigger portion at one time. There are so many different glasses for cocktails, and you know, if your doctor ever tells you you need glasses. Moving on to the booze. All right, so I'm using Sky vodka. You know, I just really like the color of the bottle, to tell you the truth. And I have one of these measuring things, and you know, a lot of people will not measure when they make drinks, and you know, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But the thing that I've learned is, you know, when you have like a cocktail happy hour at home, you can make the drinks as strong as you want. And if you get used to having really strong drinks that you make for yourself at home, then when you go out into the real world and go to a bar and get, you know, just like a regularly mixed drink, kind of disappointing. And, you know, with proper measurements, you can really play around with the flavors a little bit and get it like exactly how you want it. And that's something that I enjoy doing too. Instead of just being like, you know, glub, 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 should be fine. Glub, 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 glub. And I'm not saying I don't do that sometimes. I also enjoy to measure things. So I have this jigger, is what it's called, and it's got the big measurement and the small measurement. So I'm gonna put in a big one of vodka and a small one of triple sec, which is a orange flavored liqueur. Good. Another thing that you can't leave out to make a traditional Cosmopolitan the way I learned it in New York is Rose's lime juice. What this is it is like a sweetened, yeah, it's a lime juice cordial. So it's like lime juice, water, and a whole bunch of sugar. And of course, if you don't have this, if you leave it out, first of all, I think that counts as a skinny Cosmopolitan. And if you don't have this, then just put more lime juice in and add a little bit of sugar. It's a brand new bottle. Mmm, smells like happy hour. I'm gonna put in a small jigger of this, because I don't like mine too sweet. There we go. You know, cranberry juice can be, you know, sort of like bitter. And so I think it's always good to have a little bit of something sweet in there. It kind of helps balance it out. Now I'm just gonna put a little bit of cranberry juice in here, not too much. Like I said, I'm kind of making an XXL, and usually when you're making a Cosmopolitan, it should be like a bright pink color, meaning it is mostly alcohol with just a little bit of cranberry juice. But like I said, I'm gonna make mine a little bit bigger so I can, you know, nip on it a little bit longer. And that's why I added a little more cranberry juice, but the color still looks pretty pink. All right, so now it's time for one of my favorite things about making cocktails. It's time to shake. You will know if you've shaken enough when it gets really cold to the touch and you can see it's like getting kind of frosty. That means you're ready to go. So I'm gonna put the rest of these ice cubes in my great big on the rocks glass. Jeez. These are some dirty ice cubes. Why does that happen? How can ice cubes get like dusty like that? What is that? Open up the shaker, and like I said, you can use one of these strainers, or actually a drawer that's stuck, and strainer like this too. And like I said, this is where most people would initiate strain mode, but I like to have those little pieces of lime in my drink. Let's pour it in. As I was pouring this, I thought of another reason why it's a good idea to use the strainer, and that is you don't want the big chunks of ice to like go plop, plop, plop into the drink, because that will spill it over. Plop, 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 plop. But if you use, where is it? What did I do with it? Did I put it back in here? I did. If you use a strainer like this, that will keep out the ice, but still let the pulp of the fruit through, so hey. All right, if you wanna be really fancy, then of course you have to garnish the drink. So, shoot, I cut this lime the wrong way. Well, know what? You know, I can do like a half a wheel here with my knife that won't even cut a lime. There we go. So you can see here I've cut a wheel, and now I'm gonna cut this in half. And make like a little incision here. Sounds like I'm doing surgery.
Hello, it's me, a slice of lime. May I please suck on the rim of your glass?
Well, of course you can, little buddy. Here you go. And there you have it, a jumbo Cosmopolitan. I have to tell you guys, I usually, when I'm just hanging out by myself, I usually don't do a garnish because I feel like, you know, you don't really need it. And also, I don't like how it always falls off. So I'm gonna take this off of here now too. Oh no, hold on, let me put him back on. Let's have a drink together, shall we, before I move on to my story? I have a wonderful drink about this feeling. Is that how you make a Cosmopolitan too? Is this your recipe? Do you have some kind of secret ingredient to pimp it even more, to make it even more fancy? If you do, let me know. I like to learn from you guys. And if you have a cool drink recipe that you'd like to see me make here and then drink while I'm telling you guys a story on Drink and Discuss, write it in the comments below and maybe I'll choose your drink. Alrighty then, it's time to move the camera around, sit down in front of the blue sofa and tell you the story of my roommate who was spying on me pooping. I am not making it up. If you want to hear how it all went down and how I found it out, subscribe to this channel and look for the link in the description below. See you next week. Prost.